In the vast empire of King Xerxes, where the whims of one man could determine the fate of thousands, a young girl named Esther was about to have her life changed forever. Once upon a time, in the heart of this sprawling kingdom, a search was underway. A search for radiant beauty, for grace, for a new queen to grace the royal throne. Amidst the shimmering sands and towering structures of the empire, our story finds Esther, an ordinary girl with an extraordinary allure. Esther was no different from the others in her town. She was not born of a royal bloodline, nor did she possess wealth or power. What she did have, however, was a face that could launch 1,000 ships, a heart that was pure, and a spirit that was brave and unyielding. While the world around her was swept up in the grandeur and opulence of the royal search, Esther found herself wrestling with her own insecurities and fears. The palace was a world away from her humble abode, a realm of power and privilege she had only dreamed of. Yet, as fate would have it, the royal search led the king's men to her doorstep. Guided by her cousin Mordecai, a man of wisdom and integrity, Esther took the first hesitant steps of a journey that would alter the course of her life. She stepped into the royal carriage, her heart pounding in her chest, her mind filled with a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions. As the carriage rolled away, carrying her towards the royal palace, she cast one last look at her humble home, her old life disappearing behind her. Unbeknownst to Esther, she was stepping into a destiny greater than she could ever imagine. A destiny that would challenge her, shape her, and ultimately reveal her true strength. A destiny that would echo through the ages, reminding us all of the power of courage, faith, and resilience. And so, a new chapter began in Esther's life, in the heart of a palace filled with intrigue and power. As Esther navigated the labyrinth of royal life, a sinister plot was brewing in the shadows. The palace corridors brimmed with whispers and secrets, a game of power and deceit where the lines between friend and foe were blurred. Amidst this, Haman, the king's right-hand man, a figure of authority and influence, harbored a deep-seated hatred for Mordecai and his people. His resentment, a venomous serpent, slithered its way into the heart of the palace, poisoning the minds of those who dared to listen. Haman, with his silver tongue and crafty mind, convinced the king to issue a decree that would spell doom for Mordecai's people, a command of extermination, a death sentence for the innocent. The palace, once a beacon of grandeur and power, now echoed with the chilling laughter of a man drunk on revenge. Esther, the queen, the orphan, the Jewess, found herself caught in this web of fear and uncertainty. She was the queen, yes, but she was still a woman, a human with fears and dreams, her heart pounding against the walls of her royal attire. Her true identity, her roots, remained a secret, a whisper in the wind, a truth she had to hide for her own safety. But now, the storm was closing in. The lives of her people, her family, hung in the balance. She could hear the distant cries of her people, their pleas echoing in her heart. The weight of a crown, the weight of a decision, it was all on her shoulders. In the midst of this chaos, Esther found herself at a crossroads. She could retreat into the safety of her royal chambers, hide behind her crown and her title, or she could step out, reveal her truth, and risk everything for her people. In the face of impending doom, Esther had a choice to make, to hide in safety or risk everything for her people. The palace walls closed in around her, the echoes of the past and the whispers of the future intertwining, marking the beginning of a saga that would echo through the ages. With her people's fate hanging by a thread, Esther chose to embrace her destiny. It was a time of uncertainty, a time of fear, but it was also a time for courage. The palace was a world of opulence and grandeur, but also a world of danger. To approach the king unsummoned was to risk death. Yet Esther, a woman of extraordinary resolve, was prepared to face this risk. Her people were in danger, and she was their only hope. She devised a plan, a cunning strategy to expose Haman's treacherous plot to the king. It was a dangerous game of chess, where every move could mean life or death. But Esther was driven not by fear, but by love. Love for her people, and trust in her God. She donned her royal robes, her heart pounding in her chest. She took a deep breath, steeling herself for what was to come. This was her moment. This was her destiny. She stepped into the king's court, her head held high, her eyes shining with determination. She was no longer just Esther, the queen. She was Esther, the protector. Esther, the brave. Esther, the savior. She was a beacon of hope in a world of darkness. She was a woman of courage in the face of fear. As she stood before the king, she revealed her true identity. She was not just a queen. She was a Jew, and she was here to save her people. In the royal court, under the watchful eyes of the king and Haman, Esther revealed her true identity and the deadly plot against her people. She had stepped into the lion's den, faced her fears, and emerged victorious. Her courage had not only saved her people, but had also changed the course of history. Esther, the queen, had become Esther, the hero. In a twist of fate, the tables turned, and the hunter became the hunted. As the sun set on the Persian capital, King Xerxes was seething with fury. The grandeur of his court was overshadowed by the treachery that had been revealed. Haman, his trusted advisor, had spun a web of deceit, a plot that threatened the very life of his queen and her people. The king's wrath was swift and decisive. Haman the hunter was now the hunted, and his fate was sealed. The king's judgment echoed through the marble halls of his palace. Haman, who had once held the power of life and death, was now at the mercy of the king he had deceived. His execution was ordered, a stark reminder that treachery and deceit have no place in the hallowed halls of justice. But this tale isn't just about the fall of the wicked. It's about the rise of the righteous. Esther, a woman of humble beginnings, had shown extraordinary courage and wisdom. She had taken a stand, risking her life to protect her people. Her bravery didn't just save her people from destruction, it sparked a revolution of hope and faith. In honor of Esther's heroic act, a joyous festival was established. The Festival of Purim, a time of celebration, merriment, and gratitude, was born. It was a festival to remember the triumph of courage over fear, of righteousness over deceit. And at the heart of this celebration was Queen Esther, the beacon of hope who had shown that even in the face of danger one can find the strength to stand up for what is right. From the grandeur of the Persian court to the humble homes of her people, Esther's story resonated. Her courage, her wisdom, her faith, these were the qualities that transformed an ordinary girl into a heroic queen. From an ordinary girl to a heroic queen, Esther's story became a beacon of hope and celebration for her people. In the tale of Queen Esther, we find not just a story, but a treasure trove of lessons. As we delve into the narrative, we unearth valuable insights that resonate with our own experiences in life. Esther's journey is a powerful testament to the strength of courage. A young woman chosen to be queen in a foreign land, she found herself in a precarious situation, with the lives of her people hanging in the balance. Yet, she did not cower. Instead, she chose to face her fears head-on, demonstrating that courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the decision to act despite it. In standing up for her people, Esther also teaches us the paramount importance of upholding what is right, even when it's not the easy path to take. She risked her life to save her people, showing us that sometimes we need to make sacrifices for the greater good. Her courage to take a stand serves as a stark reminder that our actions, no matter how small they may seem, can have far-reaching implications. But perhaps the most profound lesson we can glean from Esther's journey is the immeasurable strength that comes from faith. Her unwavering faith in God was her guiding light in the midst of dark uncertainty. It was this faith that gave her the courage to face King Xerxes, to reveal Haman's plot, and to ultimately save her people. Her story underscores the transformative power of faith, showing us that even in the face of adversity, we can find the strength to overcome. Queen Esther's story is a testament to the potential within each of us to rise above our circumstances, to face our fears, and to make a difference. It's a tale of courage, of standing up for what's right, and of the power of faith. Queen Esther's story is a testament to the fact that sometimes it's in the darkest of times that we truly discover our light. And in reclaiming our courage, we reclaim our lives.